Gonna take my time. I have all the time in the world to make you mine. It is written in the stars above. Don't say you want me. Don't say you need me. Don't say you love me. It's understood. Don't say you're happy out here without me. I know you can't be, 'cause it's no good. Gonna take my time. I have all the time in the world to make you mine. It is written in the stars above. Don't say you want me. Don't say you need me. Don't say you love me. It's understood. Don't say you're happy out there without me. I know you can't be, 'cause it's no good. Welcome to another horrid, despicable episode of The Apocalypse. Depeche Mode, aren't they fucking wonderful? I find they have many great songs that you did not know. Check it out. Anyway, a crazy man in sunglasses once said he would arrest people on his revenge list. He would arrest prominent liberals and enemies for nothing. Well, it appears we are finally at that point. First high-profile indictment on the revenge list. That's Donny's revenge list. But what I forgot to say, as I am eager to get to the meat of it. Congratulations for choosing the apocalypse. Did you know? No, you didn't. I know. I knew what you were choosing. That's why I was hoping you would not bloody choose it. For I knew what you were ushering in, especially since Assassination Day. Or shall I say attempted Assassination Day. But I digress. Again, congratulations for choosing the apocalypse. And since you have unwisely chosen the apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. Unfortunately for me, I happen to be that guide, your humble guy, Nicholas. So good to see you, a bloody gay. Like I said, it appears we have our first high-profile target who has actually been indicted for nothing. I told you, and when I did, I was hoping I was wrong. But it appears I was not so far. I told you this would go to all those horrific places. This is not just video, son. This is not entertainment. This is the end of all things. Starting with the American Empire. Thanks to the rube and the greedy at the top, But let us begin. This is one of the things Donnie said today. The past 2-3 days, I have so much. I had to just let a lot of it go and focus on today because there's so much just today. So many abominations. So many blasphemies. I can't even believe it. I'm sorry. There is no world where any of this is fucking remotely normal. The pace, speed, ridiculous. I don't even know what to call it. I'm sorry, there is something else going on here, something bigger. So let's start with this. A quote from Donnie today, and, sitting at the desk, and the press is there just talking to him, and he's just rambling all the horrific authoritarian moves he basically just says out loud, and we all go, okay. That's why our country's over. No one's going to do anything. And I thought to myself, the generals could solve this in 2 minutes. And no one would have to die. But that won't happen. Just like in the 30s, it didn't happen. So this is a reporter. Who do you hold responsible for the uptick in left-wing violence? Again, that's a complete just fucking fabrication, yet people talk about it as if it's real. Trump, radical left rhetoric. The radical left is causing the problem. Says the most divisive thing I've ever seen on 2 feet in a diaper. Are you fucking kidding me? They're saying things and they're really dumb people. I mean, I look at Crockett. I look at some of these people. They're very low IQ people, actually. But the radical left is causing this problem, not the right. The radical left. And it's going to get worse. And ultimately, it's going to go back on them. Again, there was 3 white kids from rural areas with a rifle. The Kirk shooting, the Donnie shooting, and this Texas shooting that killed several immigrant prisoners. I didn't see any leftists in the bunch. I mean, bad things happen when they play these games, and I give you a little clue. The right is a lot tougher than the left, but the right's not doing this. They're not doing it. Again, the right assaulted the fucking Capitol and tried to overthrow our fucking government. What reality is this cunt talking about? And they better not get them energized because it won't be good for the left. I told you he's the Antichrist, right? I just thought I'd mention that. And I don't want to see that happen either. No, that's exactly what he wants to see happen. He describes what he's going to make happen, what he is making happen. Oh, but I don't want to see that. Sure, Donnie, sure. But the radical left is causing this. The radical left Democrats are causing this problem. In other words, sit back and don't even call us Nazis as we ruin America, steal everything, let masked men with machine guns run rampant, deploy troops on your streets, and open up camps, and arrest people on the revenge list. Don't even call us out on it. And it gets worse, and it'll be a point where other people won't take it anymore. That will not be good for the radical left, and we don't want that, okay? Thank you. That's while he was sitting there with Erdogan. That's just one quote from today. Let's be honest, what I just read to you, that was the president promoting violence against a certain type of people of political leaning in this country. Damn near half the if not more than half the population. And then saying, but I don't want to see that happen. Yeah, sure. As he says, the left is divisive with their rhetoric. This is Donnie, his post about his thesis about the shooting. I am not reading this whole thing. Why waste our time at this point? We know the plan, right? Remember the main agendas. I'll name them again at some point. I have been briefed on a deadly shooting at the ICE field office in Dallas, Texas. It has now been revealed the deranged shooter wrote an anti-ICE on his shell casings. This is despicable. The brave men and women of ICE are just trying to do their jobs. I'm going to stop right there. You know where he's going to go with the rest of this. No one in an ICE uniform got a scratch on him. Only poor immigrants that are about to be shipped some fucking where in shackles got fucking shot. So I'm sorry, it seems like an attack against illegal immigrants to me, or immigrant detainees. I didn't hear about any ICE people getting hurt, not a scratch, son. So again, this is all fiction right here. Every single word of it. Doesn't seem like the ICE people were the targets, but we'll say it anyway, because we have a right to build, and we're building a narrative, and we don't really care if it's believable. Trump to Erdogan, that's what it looked like, with the hideous Lowe's gold trim. Spray painted gold. He knows about rigged elections better than anybody, but when I was in exile, we were still friends. When I was in exile, I said, what does he think? He's fucking Napoleon? In a way, he kind of is. Napoleon got exiled, came back to rule the country again. Brought it to ruin, of course. He was the Antichrist of France, that motherfucker. Just like Hitler thought you could invade Russia while you're invading Europe, Africa, everywhere fucking else. Nope. You get caught by the winter and you die if you're a military that dares invade Russia. Don't ever do it. Even with modern technology, you can get real fucked by that weather. That's why Napoleon had to turn his ass around. That's partly why Hitler had to turn his ass back around in Russia. Exile, he says. He really thinks highly of himself. Do you understand that? That's where that sentence comes from. He thinks of himself as some great historical figure. And what's a shame is he would be nothing but a reality TV star if were not for rubbery. He has none of the qualities needed for a leader. He's a bitch in every respect you can think of. Down to the diaper, son. So, when I was in exile, no, you just lost an election, son. That's all that happened. Nobody exiled him. I just was very struck by that statement. That really told me once again how highly he thinks of himself. And he's comparing himself to certain people by that sentence. Exile. And I know what he means. It also lets me know, yeah, there's a plan. These people are comparing themselves to other historical figures. I've explained that to you before. Miller's doing a Goebbels impression every 5 seconds. So many of them are doing different moments of the Reich on camera, I can tell, of the former Reich. When I was in exile, we were still friends.
Fascinating choice of words for the Antichrist. Or someone thinks he's in the realm of Hitler, the realm of Napoleon, the realm of Caesar. Here's Donnie letting us know about the socialist handout to the farmers again. Donnie ruined so many farmers' businesses, suicides went way up, farms got repossessed during the first term, till a movement of farmers formed. I remember the guy that led it with a gray beard, whitish gray hair, looked like an actor. And he said, yeah, I took the assistance. I know you did. I know you did. Because all that we hate socialism, that means something else. You don't even know what it means. When your farm going under, your hand coming out, and you're going to take that money. What's fucked up is all of them voted for the man that ruined their business. Now, years later, they get a chance again, a third time at it. Do they remember back to the first term? Oh man, my farm almost went fucking under. Or maybe my farm did go under. How'd they vote that third time around? We know the answer to that question. And we know why. So their businesses are ruined again. Now they got their hand out again, begging the government for a socialist commie fucking handout. That's what they would call it if you or I got it, son. That's the fucked up thing. Why? Because they're SEALs, and if Fox told them to do that, they would do it. If they said, we're going to give a handout to inner city people because we feel they need help, what would the farmers say? That's a socialist commie handout. That's evil. When their farm's going under. Someone please help me from what I've done. And I rubbed it all in your face as I did it. I boasted of it. I laughed about it. I thought it was a game. My team gets the victory. Oh shit, my farm's bankrupt. Can I have a handout, please? I don't want people to lose their farms. That's not the point of what I'm fucking saying. You know what I'm fucking saying. A shame no one will see it, because I'm censored like a motherfucker. But don't worry, Google going to bring back Alex Jones and all that for you. You know, $1 billion defamation judgment. That's the kind of people they want on their platform. Me, never a cease and desist, never a defamation, anything. I get censored. I get put in a little corner, not circulated, unless I'm live. That's why they don't let me go live. Anyway, we're going to take some of that tariff money that we've made. We're going to give it to our farmers who for a little while are going to be hurt until the tariffs kick in to their benefit. When the fuck's that going to happen? It didn't happen at any point in the first term. What a crock of shit, man. First of all, the American consumer paid the tariff price. That's where the money comes from. Ultimately. And everybody knows that. So, you know, again, socialism, okay for farmers. Again, what, Rubes, I'm asking you the question, not that you'll see this. What if they said we want to give everybody in the inner city, you know, that rents an apartment, some stimulus? Everyone knows what you would say, and you know what you would say. So what are we supposed to say about the farmers who voted for this thing again? To ruin their business again? What are we supposed to say? So sad. Again, all were warned, and as this country and as this world goes down in ashes, in flames, remember, so many people are out there screaming every day, man, don't do it. But the Rube and the CEO knew fucking better. Now everything going down, the fucking toilet. And again, you're not watching just another guy talking. I'm sorry. I wish that's all I was. I wish that's all this was. It's real this motherfucking time. Look at what they've grifted and stolen so far, the Reich. Already. Donnie telling the tariff shelf lie again. The other day it was very interesting. They found 31 billion. They said, sir, we found 31. I said, you mean positively, right? They said 31 million, more than we knew. And they said, we don't know where it came from. I said, check the tariff shelf. So that's the second, third time he's told that lie. A senior Justice Department official has instructed more than half a dozen U.S. attorneys' offices to draft plans to investigate George Soros. They ain't got jack shit. Just let's investigate. I told all you people, Mr. Soros, all the high-level liberals, Comey, I said to all of you on the revenge list, the second he got the keys back, and for the past 10 years, you need to skedaddle. He coming for you. And again, it's real this time. Just like I'm telling the 3 people that watch me, because that's, all YouTube allows. I'm telling you up there on high. I'm warning them, I'm warning you. Isn't it obvious yet? This person's coming for you people. You might want to, proceed accordingly. Again, unless you want to be a martyr, I see Mr. Comey's going to choose to be a martyr, but we'll get to that. Mr. Soros, I believe is in like 90s or something. But Donnie's going after a foundation and other people. The directive lists possible charges ranging from arson to providing material support for terrorism. No proof of this. We're just going to do an investigation. Nothing to even go on. So Bondi will come back with evidence at some point that Soros financed some arson attack on a building or something. That's where this is going. He will be arrested or something will be done to him. It's going to all those horrible places. I said this way back when he got the fucking keys. I beg people not to do it. I want to remind you of that. Because you need to be mentally prepared. I do as well. Very serious things I'm talking about right here. I'm not looking forward to it either. This ain't fun for me. Knowing what's going to happen before it does. And it's rolling along exactly how I thought it would. I'm amazed, though, at the pace of it. We're, 8 months in? They're already about to arrest George Soros. They're about to arrest Comey. Wow. Already got the camps up, some. Data centers, 500 of them. More going up. Surveillance state, courtesy of Greasy Pete. That's coming. You got Grok running through your government systems. You got tech bros giving lieutenant colonel rank in the military. You've got Grok or some AI running through the military computer system right now. All of our info is out there. Several parties have it now, thanks to Doge and Leon. Over, son. Military on streets. Guys amassing machine guns grabbing people. No one can do anything about it. And we all stand back and watch. Over. Checkmate. This experiment is done. Now we will watch it fall, and a lot of people will suffer in the process. So again, I want to remind you, this is going to all those horrible places. If what you've seen so far doesn't tell you that, man. So they ready to trump up some charges on Soros. Because that'll really help your life, right, Roops? Trump on the possible Comey indictment. I think I'd be allowed to get involved if I won. What the fuck? Get involved with the Comey indictment? Oh, you mean send your personal lawyers to the Department of Justice after Comey? That's what you mean. Again, 8 months in, son, Comey indicted. Firing the man wasn't enough. Lying about him wasn't enough for years. He has to lock him up, too. That's what kind of fucking demon you're dealing with. Now, the forces that be, the evil liberals, they could have locked Donnie up and they would have been right to do so, son, and everybody fucking knows it. They gave Donnie a pass. Did you notice that? I sure as fuck did. And so did a lot of other people. That's probably why a lot of people this last election just stayed the fuck home. Because what's the fucking point? If a dude's going to stage a coup, try and kill the vice president, try and kill congressmen and senators, and intentionally hold help back, and then steal 3,000 classified documents, and doesn't do 1 second in jail, what's the fucking point, son, of them coming out to vote? There isn't one, is there? So they let Donnie skate, and that was intentional. They decided we don't want to set the precedent of locking him up. You know what I was saying that whole time they were doing that? When I managed to do videos? Donnie will not extend you the same courtesy, son, if he ever gets back in power. Why do you think Joe at the last second realized, oh yeah, he's coming after everybody? I got to pardon a bunch of people. And those pardons aren't going to make a shit bit of difference. They've been setting the stage to go around them for a while now. All it takes is one Supreme Court challenge. Over. Pardons gone. I'd be allowed to get involved if I want. Everything's I'd be allowed. Yeah, according to you. So sad to watch this all go down. Exactly how I thought it would. I mean, my God, just look at the Oval Office. All the gold, ridiculous amount of gold. And Donnie will lie. It's all 24 karat, you know. He says it right on camera in front of people. Just that room alone should tell you what this thing is. Oh, God, do I want to talk about this, man? So much time wasted. The other day, YouTube posted a message about a pilot program for terminated accounts that they banned. I knew that was code for we're about to put Alex Jones back on the website. Because a lot of other websites have already, and YouTube doesn't really care about any of that. They're taking Russia money too. So they don't mind having him on. What they're really worried about is getting sued by somebody. That's why they took him off in the first place. This man has a $1 billion defamation suit against him, son. Do you hear me? That means he's a goddamn liar. And everyone knows it, and it's adjudicated. How many times have my channels been shut down across the internet, and especially by Google? How many allegations have they made against me? How many times have they fucking defamed me? As they worked literally with the mob. Same talking points, bots deployed, everything. It was a hand-in-hand mission. And Google and YouTube ended up calling me what the mob and the bots were calling me. With zero evidence. And when I say Google, I should really say the adjudicated criminal Google, right? So a pilot program to let people like Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes back on the fucking site. $1 billion defamation. I can't use my main channel, can't even live stream. I've never gotten a cease and desist. I've never been taken to court for defamation, anything like that. 10 years doing this. Shutdown after shutdown. Paid shills for Russia, get broadcast, no problem. Get promoted at the top of my screen. Alex Jones, $1 billion defamation. Fox News, $750 million settlement for defamation. They get to broadcast all day. I guarantee they'll bring Alex back. So what happened? They put this letter out. Alex and Nick immediately run to YouTube. They make a channel. They start letting it go. I guess people complained or something. People started posting, oh, Alex is back on YouTube. I was like, I knew it. Once I read that thing, that pilot program to let banned people back on, I thought Alex Jones immediately. That's the excuse. They're setting the table because the Reich's putting pressure on them. So Alex and Nick come back. Their channels were taken back down. Now YouTube says, we've seen some previously terminated creators try to start new channels. To clarify, our pilot program on terminations is not yet open. That means we're not sure which way the wind's blowing. Will we get the fuck sued out of us if we put these two, especially Alex, back on? How hard's the sentiment? They're not sure yet. And I'm not sure if this is the truth by the adjudicated criminal Google, or they decided to let them come back. They told them they could come back. They came back and then they said, oh shit, hold on. Maybe we didn't think this all the way through. Take them down. So I'm not necessarily buying this story either. Again, this organization's a criminal organization. Adjudicated. And as the second I saw the pilot program thing for banned channels, I knew exactly what they was saying, son. So I guess if I want to broadcast, I should try and get a defamation lawsuit against me. Judgment. I should take Russian money and buy ads with it. Unbelievable, man. It's still against guidelines for previously terminated users to use, possess, or create other channels, and will terminate new channels. All right, so the program hasn't started yet. The program will start, though. And then Alex will come back. They just a little tepid about it. They wanted to see which way the wind was blowing when they announced it. So Nikki's not allowed to broadcast. The guy with the $1 billion defamation judgment will probably be back within the week. And Nick Fuentes, who's a Nazi. Literally. But I'm too dangerous. According to the adjudicated criminal Google, my channel just sits indefinitely. No strikes, no nothing. Just, you can't do nothing. Just leave it sit there. Until I maintain a positive channel history on a channel I can't use. I thought about their policy. It's fascinating. And I thought, maybe, remember when Vlad stole your $100 million? And you had to close up shop in Russia. Maybe if you guys try this, maybe if you maintain a positive history with Vlad, he'll give you some of your money back. And someone went to college to come up with that bullshit concept. To fuck with people. So maybe, again, maybe if you maintain a positive history with Vlad, even though he has all your money, maybe he'll give some back. Nah, I don't think so. Kind of serves you right, though, for taking the money, putting his propaganda out there to the point it will cost the empire and your business. Did you hear me? And your business. I promise. You people thought you could control this beast. So many of you. The tech bros, the tech community, the CEOs, Putin, Leon, Greasy Pete. I know you all think it. You all thought it. You're starting to realize you can't though, right? I know. I know. I tried to warn you. But you knew better. YouTube has shut down the newly created channels of Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones. Trump tells the 7 wars lie again, sitting next to Erdogan again. Look at all the fucking gaudy gold. I think you can, look, it needs more gold. You can fit more gold. There's a few inches not covered in spray painted gold. I settled 7 wars, as you know, and it's probably more than that. So Donnie, he's saying more than 7 now. Maybe 8, 9, 10. I thought this would be among the easier ones. I'm very disappointed in Putin. Talking about, obviously, the Ukraine-Russia war. So that we've heard that lie how many times now? You realize this is a mentally deranged, sick individual that you handed the keys to, and you know who I'm talking to. Okay, this is a CEO complaining basically about what I've literally been telling you that Donnie is doing. Citadel CEO Ken Griffin on Thursday slammed the Trump admin for making deals with large corporations to avoid the full extent of its tariff policies. Griffin said the government giving favor to large and well-connected companies is not the American story. The line outside the White House of every business arguing why they should be exempt from paying tariffs on what they import into their products is nauseating. Okay, this is literally what I've been saying has been happening. If you want an exemption from the tariffs, tribute money. You give Donnie money. I told you, all of you companies out there, for the right to do business in the country and this world, you will have to pay that man. I said this before the election. I begged you not to do it. So what's the grift? And it's very clear now. This is the grift. On one end, you've got the tariff money itself, which I know Donnie's dipping his fucking hand into. On the other side of it, so you're milking the American citizen for higher prices on goods. You're paying those tariffs, no matter what anyone tells you. So you're getting money off of all the citizens of America. You're taking money from them. That's one end of the grift. The other end of the grift is if you're a major company or a company and you don't like the tariffs, come pay me a visit. Like Tim Apple did 8 times. Like Zuckerberg, like Sundar. Come pay me a visit, drop me an envelope, and the tariffs go away for you, son. So it's a double grift. You get tribute from the companies to get an exemption from the tariffs. Otherwise, your business is fucked. Kind of stuck, aren't you? Exactly where I told all you fucking fuckheads you would be. In between a rock and a motherfucking hard place. Either you stuck with the tariffs or you stuck with Donnie knocking on your door once a month. Hey, I know you gave me $100 million last month, but I need another 200. What have you done for me lately? That's the mob. That's what they do to the neighborhood. Everyone goes out of business. Do you get the picture now? Men in the nooses and the neckties. I know you thought you were all wise. You thought you knew all things because your bank account fucking told you so, son. You knew nothing. Fucking nothing. Got a CEO literally saying out loud, yo, this is a grift here. The only people that get exemptions, are doing favors for Donnie. Everyone else, fuck you, your business closes. Literally what I've been telling you has been going on. Got a double grift going. So now you again know another reason why Donnie loves tariffs so much. It's a way to exert pressure on just so many different entities to get them to do what you want, whether it's money or an action or whatever. A percentage. He's already taken a percentage of a company. Like a communist. You know, the thing you rubes say you hate, as if you know what it is. Again, all you people at the top thought you could put a leash on this motherfucker, thought it was going to be business as usual. Again, you knew better. The rube at the bottom, the CEO, the executive, the ownership class, you knew better, right? Because you have a lot of money. My God, the things you people will see in the next few years. And again, by the end, son, CEO and Rube alike and everybody else, everybody be crying. This going to all those horrible places. I hate to say it. The AI that called itself Mecha Hitler and controlled by Leon, Trump's biggest financial backer and spreader of misinfo, will now be used by U.S. government agencies and trained on our data. Nothing good will come of this. Leon Scum's Grok and its AI has been cleared for use in U.S. government agencies. Not like his AI hasn't been weaving through the shit since Doge got, let loose. Not like they don't already have all of our info. Greasy Pete, Leon, Big Balls, Vlad. Remember that, one of the first tweakings of Grok, remember people kept doing a search. Who are the biggest spreaders of misinfo? Leon and Donnie came up number 1 and 2 on every single search of that question. Leon altered Grok to leave out Leon's name and Donnie's name, and he got caught. That was one of the first incidents. We way past that. We're at the point where Grok's like, I love Adolf Hitler. I would worship him. It just way over the top. And again, that was a window into Leon's head. They believe it in Nazism. I know it seems strange to you and I. They believe it, and that's all that matters. Don't matter what you believe, I believe, anyone believes. Just what they believe. Why? They got the keys, son. That's why. As if his AI wasn't already in the systems. It's kind of, probably shouldn't even have wasted my time with that one. Acting U.S. Attorney Nancy Larson. He wrote that he intended, this is about the shooter, the Texas shooter, and I did a video earlier on that if you want to watch it. I'm not going into the whole shooting right now. He wrote that he intended to maximize lethality against ICE personnel to maximize property damage at the facility. He hoped to minimize any collateral damage or injury to detainees or any other innocent people. It seems like he did not intend to kill the detainees or harm them. Really, it seems that way? Because they're the only ones fucking dead. Okay, she's claiming there's a letter. I ain't buying it. I don't believe a goddamn word the Reich says anymore, especially after the Sharpie bullet. And I thought to myself as I listened to this, they wrote a letter because he only shot detainees and it doesn't fit the narrative. It's really hard for me to believe a letter that says I didn't want to shoot detainees specifically. and I wanted to shoot agents. But then when you look at reality, only detainees were killed. I thought to myself, they wrote a letter because he doesn't fit the narrative, since no ICE agents were harmed. God knows what the truth is at this point. They've done a great job of killing the truth. The FBI also said, and yeah, this was on Fox News earlier today. It was just a press conference, and the FBI was giving a little info. That's what I just read you, that last one. We believe Jan acted alone. Wait a minute, what about all the left-wing indoctrination groups, Antifa? He acted alone. That doesn't fit the narrative either. Random commenter. Hitler ordered all German military personnel to swear an oath of personal loyalty to him as the Führer or leader of the German Reich, a crucial step in cementing his control over the armed forces and removing them from their traditional loyalty to the state and constitution. Hegseth summoning senior military leaders from around the world to Virginia. So this came out earlier today. And I knew what it was the second I saw it. This is my guess anyway about it. All the generals from around the world, Hegseth wants them in his presence. That's a big deal. This is a Reich, I know that. To the core of me. Why would you call all the generals to be in the same room? Some kind of oath. Maybe lay out a little plan and say, whoever's in this room is not down, you can leave right now. You are now terminated. If you don't pledge loyalty, you are terminated. This is a big deal, and when they asked Donnie about it in the Oval Office today, he's like, why is that a bad thing? Is that wrong? I think it's a good thing. It's great. I could tell by the way Donnie was talking about it, his demeanor, everything. Oh, it's very big. Look, I can't worry about if you believe me. I'm just going to say this. I just need to say the message. I don't care if you believe it or not. That's on you, son. That's all on you. I told you at some point they're going to want your worship. Donnie will. Have you noticed everything's about loyalty with this person? He wants people that will do whatever evil he asks without question, without hesitation. That's what he's looking for. Blind sycophancy, blind loyalty, worship eventually. They've got a lot of this plan unveiled already. The camps, the military on your streets, various firings, all kinds of great stuff. But they really want to take this all the way. So they get them all in a room together. That's this, again, this is my guess. All the generals in a room. Who are you loyal to? Donald Trump or the Constitution? Are you down with what we're about to do? Using you, the military. If you're not, you can leave forever. That's what I expect this meeting will be. These people have an agenda, son. They believe it. They think this is their moment. Petey Hegseth thinks he's some type of crusader for Christianity. They want that temple built. They believe it. People like Petey Hegseth. Donnie wants it for a different reason. The temple, I mean. This man sits at a round table and has his cabinet praise him and tell him how wonderful he is. And he tells the same lies every day about 17 trillion, this, tariffs. Every day we get the same record with a few abominations added for good measure. Whatever's current. After the worship session. Then he sits there and brags all day about how he's going to deploy the military here, there, do all kinds of horrible things. Anyone who's not blindly loyal to him is eliminated from the roster. So if Petey Hegseth believes he's some type of crusader for Christianity, who's going to help bring the third temple and all that, why do you think these sick people would want all the generals in the same room? Because they got to roll out the next phase. I told you eventually it's going to go full Reich. They need to know who's on board. And if you're not on board, see you later. That's what I expect this meeting will be. Are you loyal to... Same thing. It started, remember, back in Donnie's first term. I'm glad I remembered this. With Comey sitting at a table. Comey had just done him a huge fucking favor, probably handed him the fucking election. With the investigation and announcement of the investigation of Hillary. But that's not enough for Donnie. This Russia shit. Nipping at Donnie's heels. So he sits Comey down at a table and he says, you know, you loyal to me? You going to make this investigation go away or what? And Comey's like, I'm loyal to the Constitution. I'm not loyal to a man. I'm paraphrasing. I'm sorry. I'm going to go wherever the truth is. And he wouldn't end the investigation. Well, he got fired immediately. That's where we're at with this. We're at the probably going to same loyalty test for these generals. Are you down with the Reich? Are you going to do what we need you to do? He's already got the military, but I told you this a long time ago. Once he has the military and the rest of the sycophants, it's over. There's nothing that can be done. We're here. There's nothing that can be done. So again, we're going to all those horrific places, and this little meeting with the generals where they're going to have to pledge their loyalty, eventually you're going to have to pledge your loyalty, son, and worship that thing. That's what the mark, all of it will be about. This is just, another step to get there. Worship. And again, I wish none of this was real, none of this was true. I wish I was some crazy person. Unfortunately, I'm not. I'm sorry. I wish I was. I really do. This is George Soros Society statement regarding Donnie wanting to arrest his ass for nothing. Our statement in response to reporting that Trump administration is directing investigations without evidence into our operations. Open Society Foundation. Unequivocally condemn terrorism, do not fund terrorism. Our activities are peaceful, lawful. Our grantees are expected to abide by human rights principles, comply with the law. These accusations are politically motivated attacks on civil society meant to silence speech, the administration disagrees with and undermine the First Amendment right to free speech. When power is abused to take away the rights of some people, it puts the right of all people at risk. I'm not going to read anymore. You get the gist. Look, we all know he's got nothing on George Soros and this foundation. They're just going after liberals, liberal areas with the military, liberal organizations. It's a dismantling, just like the dismantling of this democracy, this empire. They're dismantling the liberal thing. It's their only last obstacle to full Reich. Just like Hitler. Same thing. Liberals got locked up first. Last obstacle to full Reich in his day as well. Same old story. Right-wing nationalism on one side, which became right-wing white nationalist movement, which eventually became fascism. Straight up dictatorship. That's where we're at, and we will end up at the same place Germany ended up, straight up dictatorship. That's why I was telling Soros and all the people, you need to proceed like he's coming after you. However you do that. Because he is. This is not a joke. This is not a fucking drill. They mean it. They forming a Reich. A Nazi, white supremacist, white nationalist Reich. Just like the last one. You know all the things that happened in the last one, right? The atrocities. They will happen again. That's how serious this fucking is. And if you were in CCOT, you'd understand that. Trump signs an executive order directing Bondi and Pirro to reinstate the death penalty in Washington, D.C. Well, can Donnie get his Nobel Peace Prize now? That's all I have to say about that. Trump on who he once investigated. Soros is a name certainly that I keep hearing. I don't know. I hear a lot of different names. I hear names of some pretty rich people that are radical left people. Maybe I hear about a guy named Reid Hoffman. So does he want tribute from these liberals, or does he just want to lock them up? How many times have you heard the sentence come out of my mouth? Rich liberals, he will lock them up. He will go after them. Get out. Pretty rich people that are radical left. Donnie, the Antichrist, literally naming the rich liberals he will go arrest at some point. That's where we're fucking at. 8 months in. That's horrifying. Trump, I will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank. Nope, I will not allow it. It's not going to happen. There's been enough. It's time to stop now, okay? Someone left a comment that said, yeah, Donnie's going to take that over instead. You know what I thought? You're probably right. That's how he'll stop Bibi from taking it. But I have a feeling he's pretty much going to let Bibi do whatever he wants until he turns on him. Israelis. Bibi Netanyahu. He's going to turn on you people. And it's going to be ugly. It's written, I'm sorry. I didn't write it. You did. By personifying it. By being it. You are the story. It's time to stop now. Okay, wow, I'm surprised Donnie said that. Here's Kash Patel on left-wing groups. We are properly going to chase them down like the domestic terrorists that they are. What left-wing groups? Again, none of these shootings. The Donnie shooting, the Kirk shooting, the Texas shooting, none of it was left-wing. Former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted on 2 counts, 1 for false statements, 1 for obstruction of justice, and 1 for being on Donnie's revenge list. That's the only reason this man is being gone after right now. Again, firing him like a dog. And then having the Russians and Henry fucking Kissinger in the Oval Office the next day. Then talking shit on him and lying about him for years. Was not enough. Now you want to put him in jail again. You people don't understand the level of evil we're dealing with Donnie Shitbags. The Antichrist. And I shouldn't feel sorry for Comey, but I do, because he doesn't understand the magnitude of this. He doesn't understand, yeah, Donnie might lock his ass up. Don't matter what the court says. Question, we're a few days away. Trump, here we go with this guy. Question, we're a few days away from the end of the fiscal year and potential shutdown. Trump, yeah, because the Democrats are crazed. Donnie did not want to talk about the shutdown. Right, the Democrats are crazed. Okay. We're going to get out there. We're going to do a pretty big number on those people in Portland. They are professional agitators and anarchists. When they come to Portland, I suggest you people beware. They really want to make an example out of you people in Portland. And Donnie's talking about sending the masks and thugs with machine guns in. And the military. Big numbers, he says, in Portland they're going to do. That's your military being deployed against you for no reason. For a dictator. To build a dictatorship. Stephen Miller. This is the first time in American history that there is an all-of-government effort to dismantle left-wing terrorism, to dismantle Antifa, which doesn't exist. We are now going to use the entire force of the federal government to uproot these organizations, root and branch. No, they're just setting the table to call you Antifa, if they feel like it. That's all they need to do. Now you're a terrorist. Now they can do anything they want. Deport you even. Deport you even. That's been the plan the whole time. Did you think this is about illegal immigrants? Really? Nah. It was about you. Donnie, people come in from Iowa to look at Lincoln Memorial and they end up getting killed. It doesn't happen anymore. And if it does happen, it's the death penalty for the person who did it. And this goes into effect. Again, can Donnie get his Nobel Peace Prize now? And we know what he means by people from Iowa coming here and they get killed. We understand. And we understand who he wants to put to death. Literally, we understand. Another Russian official is found dead in Moscow after falling out a window. Alexander Fedotov, former chairman of the St. Petersburg Committee for Transport Infrastructure Development, was discovered in the Moscow region. Russian media claimed he committed suicide. I thought to myself after I read this, 150th high-profile Russian that falls out a window, I thought to myself, you would think in Russia they would nail all windows shut. Because there seems to be an epidemic of people falling out of fucking windows. No, that's the mark of who did it. Or who people want you to think did it. That's why it's done that way. I told you this before. That's so Putin and his people can let you know. Yeah, that was us. So another Russian out a window. And it's not only Russians. Sometimes it's basketball players from other countries that go out windows. Oh, your country's turning into that now, if you're American. Reporter, now that Americans will have operational control of TikTok, do you want to see the algorithm suggest more MAGA-related content? Trump, I always like MAGA-related. If I could make it 100% MAGA, I would, but it's not going to work out that way, unfortunately. It might as well be. Again, I got thrown off in a month. I got 2,500 views, and I did 2 parody videos where I talked in funny voices about political issues. So it's a propaganda tool, worthless in my opinion. And Donnie wants to make it all MAGA all the time, and eventually that's where the Reich will take us all. We're only Reich-approved news, Reich-approved social media content. That's why, Google's about to let Alex Jones come back, and they're about to throw me off. Because that's what our country's going to be. It's going to be like the 30s in Germany, where all media is through the Reich. Reich approved. We have social media now. A digital world that will be controlled by the Reich. AI, omnipresent, can police the internet, can police reality, this outside society, through the surveillance system Greasy Pete is putting in. That your money's paying for, son. Again, you get to pay for your own subjugation. Isn't that awesome? You get to pay for the Reich, pay for Donnie's bribes like planes, ballrooms, all kinds of shit. It's going to be great. You won't recognize it in a year. Don't worry. Donnie letting you know he wants all social media MAGA related. And TikTok will probably be a lot MAGA related. It already is. I couldn't believe these when I saw these later on. And again, this is a double-edged grift. Trump announces 100% tariff on branded pharmaceutical products. 100%, son. What does he want here? You don't want to pay the tariffs? Major drug company? What are you going to do for me? Maybe I make the tariffs go away. It's a two-sided grift. He extorts the company with these high tariffs that they can't afford. They either pay him or they go out of business. I can't believe 100%, son. Until they bring the factories here. He knows they're not going to do that. He doesn't care if they do that. He just wants a fucking tribute payment. The tariffs is the way to get that. He doesn't get a tribute payment. He gets your money when you go buy a product. My God. The Antichrist. I couldn't believe this. I mean, what is America but drugs? So tariffing that 100% for name brand, my God, what that does to those companies, what it does to the public. In order to protect our great heavy truck manufacturers from unfair outside competition, I will be imposing as of October 1st, 2025, a 25% tariff on all heavy big trucks made in other parts of the world. I'm not even going to read the rest. What's that going to do to the trucking industry? Prices. What's this going to do to drug costs? Oh my God, this is such a grift. And he's not done yet. I mean, Donnie, he wants tribute from everybody, every kind of company. I told you this. Again, if the adjudicated criminal Google wouldn't have censored me, maybe I would have become real big. Because I was building again after like 19 shutdowns. Just doing stupid live streams. Scared the shit out of them again. Got up to like 5,000 subs out of nowhere. And that's after 19 shutdowns again, son. Always keep that in mind. A lot more subs than I had during most of the Cornell thing after 8 shutdowns. Didn't even need a rock star to talk about. Isn't that interesting? So 100% tariffs on name brand pharmaceuticals. 25% tariffs on heavy big trucks made in other countries. Where's that other tariff on? 50% tariff on all kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, associated products starting October 1st, 2025. Charging a 30% tariff on upholstered furniture. Every business you can think of now has been hit with tariffs. What is he telling the business community? What I was trying to tell the business community. He's always going to come to your door asking for tribute. If you want the right to do business in America, I explained this fucking years ago. Donnie thinks you should pay him. You want to use the Suez Canal? You should pay Donnie. You want to use the Panama? You should pay Donnie. Do you understand where this goes, rich people of the world who voted for this? Him knocking at your door for the rest of your fucking sad existence. For more money. Does the mob ever stop, son? Does their greed ever subside? Never. That's what you put in charge. Even worse, we want to go to the spiritual side of it. The fucking Antichrist. It's so obvious. And even though it's that obvious, again, I really fucking hope I'm wrong. I really want to wake up one day and see something that tells me I'm wrong. So we've got furniture, bathroom fixtures, and bathroom stuff to make bathrooms. We've got the trucking industry hit. We've got drugs, which is America's favorite thing, pills, and various other drugs. Name brand. 100%. Donnie wants tribute from everyone. Do you get the game now? It don't matter what business you're in, son. He hitting them all. Eventually. I have never seen grifting to this fucking degree. His every atom in his body is dedicated to a grift of some sort. And he thinks everyone should be paying him tribute. Anyone that wants to do business. You want expedited citizenship? Pay Donnie $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, whatever. You get a Donnie gold card. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I've never seen anything like this. Holy fuck. And these tariff announcements out of nowhere. These three, I was like, holy shit, this is like everything you can think of. How are people going to stay open? And the sad thing is, most of you business owners, I know how you voted. And what you voted for whatever reason, I don't care. You wanted tax cuts, you're a racist, whatever, it doesn't matter. What you voted for, what we all begged you not to vote for, was your bankruptcy. There are literally farmers all over America losing everything since they can't sell their products because of Trump's tariffs, who are glued to their TV sets, watching Fox, thrilled that their hero indicted Comey. Yep. Theater. Culture war bullshit that rubes believe in. The tractor's getting repossessed, but Trump owned those libs again. Yep. And Comey was a Republican, by the way. I think he switched eventually, went to independent, whatever. No, he's a Republican. He always was. He still is. Yep, that's the attitude, and that's Ron Filipkowski that said that brilliant quote there. I've been saying that in my own way for a long time. As you vote against your own interests, put your own foot up your own ass. You'll see something like Comey get arrested as your farm's about to go under, and that will put a smile on your face. And that, son, is why your country's over. Reason number 10 million. That very attitude. Oh, this is what James Comey said. He made a video, and this is a piece of it. We will not live on our knees, and you shouldn't either. Fear is the tool of a tyrant, but I'm not afraid. I hope you're not either. I'm innocent, so let's have a trial. This is what Mr. Comey and the rest of you don't understand. You might not get a fair trial, and at some point there will be no more fair trials. So if you get arrested, you get accused, it's over. Expect that. It's coming, son. That's what Comey might be walking into that he doesn't understand. He might get lucky with the first judge. Donnie will continue until he gets to a judge that he, will do what he wants. In other words, these people going into it thinking they're going to get a fair shake, they might not necessarily get that. I applaud Comey for, he's about to be a martyr. And it seems like he's willing to go through it. Let's have a trial. I did a bunch of videos called Let's Have Court. Remember that? Here's Donnie again. I drove around Washington over the weekend, said, look at the difference. The grass looked great. We had a lot of our National Guard. They're proud. They're great. And they were picking up paper. They were cleaning. So they get to be the garbage men for the city. Our military. Because Donnie needs them for when midterms come and he just voids it all. Or when the 4-year election comes for a new president and he's just going to stay in power. That's the reason why the troops are on the ground in D.C. You know that, right? That was checkmate. Again, him boasting about the military on the streets cleaning up. Again, this was all planned a long time ago. God, how many shots do I have left? All right, not that many. Here's Donnie boasting in a post about what he's doing to Comey. Justice in America, one of the worst human beings this country has ever been exposed to. Worst human beings ever. James Comey, the former corrupt head of the FBI, today was indicted by a grand jury on 2 felony counts for various illegal and unlawful acts. He has been so bad for our country for so long and is now at the beginning of being held responsible for his crimes against our nation. Make America great again. Let me translate. He held me accountable, or tried to hold me accountable, for my actual crimes, and I fired him before he had a chance to do so. This is my revenge against him. Donnie talking about deploying the military in Chicago. I would rather have Pritzker support when we go into Chicago, but if we don't have it, that's okay too, because we're paramount. The Reich's paramount. We send the military into whatever city we want. Again, it was over the second it happened in California and everyone wasn't out on the streets protesting, saying, no, we're not tolerating it. It was over that second. Now he's making jokes about, I don't care if the governor agrees, I'm just going to send him in anyway. We do what we want. And the military goes right along. Very over. And it's very enraging to watch. To watch rubes clap like seals after they handed their empire over, their future, their kids' future. That's never coming back. People still trying to debate. People think he's going to honor any election or anything like that. Hegseth, this is Ron Filipkowski again. I thought the same thing. Hegseth better have a damn good reason for taking the historic, unprecedented step of summoning the most senior military officers from around the globe to a meeting. That reason better have nothing to do with determining their personal loyalty to Trump or Hegseth. Everybody's seeing what this is. That have a little bit of wisdom. This is serious. They ain't calling all these people from across the world for nothing. This is a big moment. And just like Ron's saying, I think it's going to be the same thing. You loyal to the Reich or not? If not, you are fired. We about to do some stuff. Here's some of what we're about to do. Are you down? Right now, we need your answer. We all know what it's going to be. And eventually that same choice will come to you. Are you loyal to him and the image? Or are you loyal to God? Patel, today your FBI took another step in its promise of full accountability. No, its promise of revenge. They talked about this before the election. The revenge tour. We all heard it. No one took it seriously, I guess. Especially the people on the list. Because he's coming for you people. And there's not going to be anyone to stop it. That's why you should have locked him up while you people had the chance and you had the justification. He committed real crimes. You should have done it. You didn't. Too late, checkmate. And Donnie, is this the last one? Yep. We're going to take care of Memphis. You can't walk a block without getting shot. Yeah, that sounds like reality, right? So in one day, talking about we're going to send the military into Chicago and Memphis. Again, he's saying this. Countless abominations. One person on the revenge list and another person named Soros is on the revenge list. He's about to probably get arrested in the next week, 2 weeks. I am amazed at the pace of this. I can't believe we're already at this point where the revenge list names are starting to get crossed off. No crimes, just revenge. They said they were going to do it before. They keep saying what they're going to do. We keep hearing it. Then they do it. We descend further into the fucking dystopia. And it's all going right exactly how I thought it would. Still enraging to watch. It all go down the tubes, man. And it is. And again, this time it's real. I am not the rest of these people out there that are just talking about a president they don't like, that have been doing it for decades. No. And you're not in that situation. This is fucking real, and it's going all the way. When you want to know what all the way means, think of 1933 Germany up until 1945 Germany. And when the mark comes, you cannot take it. There are no trade backs, take backs. I'm sorry, Lord. I betrayed you. I took the mark. Can I have a free pass? There ain't no rapture either. I'm sorry. I wish there was. There just isn't. Otherwise, I think a lot of people would be gone right now. And not the church you're thinking of. There's one calling up to the sky. That's at the end. That's when Jesus Christ comes back and turns the battlefield of Armageddon into a wine press. People are allegedly called up to the sky to join him, but that's at the end, son. That's not before all the bad stuff. I've thought about what would cause that great war. Well, that battlefield is somewhere near Israel. So obviously the battle will probably be over Israel and Palestine and that whole thing, the Holy Land. Once temples start going up and stuff. That's probably what will cause the major battle. I think most people always knew that. This Holy Land thing, everyone's got an opinion. Every time there's controversy there, everyone's picking a side. It's been a special place for basically all time. And some big things are about to happen there and have been happening there now. So most likely that big battle at the end, whenever that happens, will be about this. The Israelis, the Palestinians, the mosque, the temple, who's on what side, Europe, Canada, Australia, others on one side, United States, Russia, and others on the other. That could cause a huge battle in time as more and more moves are made by Bibi and Donnie regarding the Holy Land. Deploying the military on your streets has become a punchline. None of this is normal. They're going to go full Reich eventually. They're already, got a good foot in that direction, don't they? Anyway, I got to go. I am thoroughly disgusted by the state of our world and all of this. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I'll put the PayPal up if you'd like to help out in 8 hours when this uploads. Until the next episode, people. Hopefully we make it that far.